Syracuse Planning Commission. We've got some hearings and other business for this evening. First, though, we have minutes to act upon from our meeting earlier this month on February the 1st. I know several members weren't able to attend that meeting. I will move the minutes from February the 1st for adoption. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on those minutes? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Say nay. Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Okay. All right, so our minutes from February 1st are approved. That'll allow us to move into the public hearing schedule for this evening. And just by way of background for those unfamiliar with the process, as each application is announced, we will ask the applicant or their representative to present a summary of the application, and then following any questions for clarification from the commission members, members of the public who are on the call will be offered an opportunity to speak in favor of or in opposition to the application. And whereas we used to group people into the for camp versus the opposed camp when we were in person, we will just run through the list of people who are on the phone or in the WebEx, asking them for their comments one way or the other. And where there are comments made in opposition to the application, we'll encourage the applicant to return to address those comments that are made in opposition. I think that covers it. So Heather, would you get us started with our first application this evening?
Sure. The first public hearing is R2105. This is a re-subdivision to combine two properties into one new lot at 2429 Midland Ave and 284 Calthrop Avenue. Barbara West and the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation are the owners and applicants, and both of the properties lie within a residential class A1 zoning district. And I just do want to confirm it's West Calthrop Avenue. Okay.
West, okay.
Look, I can do that magic right here.
Oh, right. We could never do that in person in the council.
No, there you go. All right. So I'll stop sharing and see who's here for that application.
It's Andrea Wandersee from NEDA. I'm here. Aisha couldn't make it tonight. So she's entrusted me with this particular one. So the land bank acquired 284 West Calthrop Avenue in December of 2019. The vacant lot measures 44 by 33 square feet. The applicant is the owner occupant of the adjacent property at 2429 Midland Avenue. And due to the location of the property, she's the only logical buyer. Rather than leaving the property vacant, the land bank would like to sell the lot to the owner occupant of the single family residential at 2429 Midland. The re-subdivision will provide more defensible space and increase the property values. The homeowner will pay taxes on the land and will maintain the property. We believe this is at the best interest of the neighborhood and the city. I do want to add the property was demoed, so the map shows that there are two driveways. The land bank will take care of removing one of the driveways, and the other one will be reduced to the appropriate size. I think 12 feet wide.
All right, Steve, I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Andrea. I was just asking if there are any questions from the commission members concerning this application.
No
questions.
I have a question for staff. So it says in our notes, the City Planning Commission approved the re-subdivision on October 16, 2006, excuse me, to combine two properties situated at 2429 and 2435 Midland Avenue into one new lot to be known as 2949 Midland Avenue. Is that address right? And whether it is or not, if it's right, what does that have to do with this case?
I apologize. That is a typo. It should be 2429 Midland Avenue. And it's just a historical re-subdivision that created one of the existing lots.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Jeff.
I apologize for the typo.
Nope, I assume that's what it was, but I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Other points of clarification or other questions? Okay, then Heather, if you have access to the screen, can you run through the participants, inviting them to offer comments for or against? We can mix and match here.
Sure. 1536. I think that's Clough Harbor. Okay. Andrew Griffin. All right. Clough Harbor and Associates.
Yes, I'm Boucher here.
Do you want to speak in favor or against our 2105, the re-subdivision on Midland and West Calthrop?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I'd like to go back to Andrew Griffin. I'm not familiar with his name. Andrew, if you're there, if you'd like to speak on behalf or against this proposal, you can do so. Okay, thank you very much. That's it.
Okay, so everyone's had an opportunity. Then I think we can close this public hearing. We'll pause for a moment and ask if there is a motion for action on this application.
I would move approval with a negative declaration.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
I'd like to point out that while this lot will be somewhat larger than the others in the immediate area, the 284 West Calthrop Ave is such a small, unbuildable lot that I think in this specific case, it seems reasonable to allow for the creation of the greater new lot.
Right.
Appreciate that context for the motion. Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to the motion, please say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, I believe I heard at least 4 yeses. So the re-subdivision at West Calthrop and Midland Avenue is approved. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you, everyone. Boy, this was the quickest planning commission meeting ever for me.
It helps when you're first on the agenda.
I love that. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good evening. Heather, as we move into the next 3, and Catherine, correct me if I'm wrong here, but since these are all interrelated actions, proposed actions for the same properties, we can hear these together, and it might help our understanding of what's being proposed to hear them concurrently. And then, of course, take separate action on each of the 3 items here. Does that present a problem, or are we in good order to do that?
No, that's a good plan.
Okay, that sounds, it might make it easier for the applicant as well. So Heather, if you will, we've got a lot of reading here to do to officially open these, but would you please run through the next 3?
Sure, and that's okay. In fact, we also may be able to
Oh, new business.
talk about this item here, as this is the project plan review that is parcel to all of the other actions. Now, this has to be dependent upon the other actions being approved by you and by the Common Council, or recommended for approval by you and approved by the Common Council, and the re-subdivision map being filed. So I will read all 4 of them, and then Clough Harbor can present the whole package together. Okay, so I'm going to start with this first one. This is a re-subdivision, R2104. This is to combine 3 properties into 2 new lots, 738 Erie Boulevard West and 116 120 North Geddes Street. Renali ALA LLC and Bobbitt Family LLC are the owners and applicants. One of the properties lies within an industrial class A zoning district, and the other, which is the North Geddes Street, and 738 Erie Boulevard lies within a planned development district, which was already approved by this board. The second one is to actually change the zoning district of a portion of 116 North Geddes Street, also known as 120. This is Z2837, change of zone from industrial class A to planned development district to be combined into the existing planned development district. The Bobbitt Family LLC is the owner, and Renali ALA LLC is the petitioner. The third public hearing companion piece is a Z2825M2, and this is to take the planned development district plan and modify it to include this property and all of the provisions of a district plan that make it a district plan, such as open space and parking and floor area ratio and all of those other parameters. So this is to modify the district plan at 738 Erie Boulevard West. At Renali ALA LLC is the owner, and Renali ALA LLC is the applicant. And so it is a development district, with the exception right now of the 116, also known as 120 North Geddes Street. So those are the 3 hearings. The new business item that goes with that is Z2826M2. This is a project plan review notification for a UAS warehouse to modify the site plan. I'm not sure if that's exactly correct, but definitely modify the site plan at 738 Erie Boulevard West and 116 North Geddes Street, also known as 120. Renali ALA LLC and Bobbitt Family LLC are the owners, and Renali ALA LLC is the applicant, and it is a planned development district. So with that, I will stop sharing, and I see Brian Bouchard is here, and he can take it away from this point on.
Good evening. Thank you. Brian Bouchard with CHA Consulting, attending on behalf of the owner, who's also the applicant for this project. And I will share my screen and just bring up the map quickly and take you through it. That's going to let me do that. Yep. So I will start with this plan. This is because these are all companion pieces. I'll describe them briefly individually, and I think you'll get hopefully the idea of what has occurred with all these applications related to the planned development district. So Erie Boulevard is to the bottom of the page down here. What's labeled as new lot 1A is the general area of the planned development district. And what is being proposed for the re-subdivision is to take this smaller red portion of the adjacent lot and combine it with the planned development district lot, which is the warehouse parcel. And what you can see here is that there was the old Tracy Street right-of-way that's been abandoned and acquired by Renali ALA for the construction of the warehouse, which is ongoing. The building is being constructed as we speak. And there's also an old railroad spur that came off of Erie Boulevard and is just drawn on paper at this point. All of the rail lines and everything and have been, since demolished, but it was really this corner and the radius of the property line that was impacting the area in front of the proposed warehouse. So I'll change to the site plan so that you can see that same area highlighted in red within the overall site plan. And since the time that this project was approved and the plan development district was formed, the Rinaldi's have contacted their adjacent owner, the Bobbitt family, and have acquired the red shaded portion here, which is that smaller portion of the existing lot next door. And really what the purpose of this is to provide a more square lot and road frontage so that there can be a little bit more organization to the front of this lot with respect to the landscaping that can be maintained by the warehouse and the parking, as well as the driveway that also has the potential to be, future cross access if the adjacent land ever gets developed as well. The site plan in general has not changed. It still has the same configuration of the warehouse with the parking and other access points. It was really just combining this small portion of the adjacent lot through the subdivision application, and then having to submit a zone change application so that this small portion can be included within the plan development district. And then the site plan modification to include this portion of land within the overall plan development district, and just the change that happened with some additional parking and making this look a little more square out front. Heather did mention on the review of the new business, which is the project site review, modification of the site plan along with the floor plan and elevations. The floor plan and elevations were resubmitted because since the time that this project was previously brought through the Planning Commission for the formation of the plan development district, we've obviously acquired the necessary building permits for the work. And there are some small changes to the elevations with respect of, there's a removal of one of the overhead doors and some egress doors that were required as part of the code review. And what we wanted to do was just make sure that you have the same elevation and floor plan that was provided to the building department for the issuance of the building permit. So a lot of the, floor plan and elevations are essentially the same with exception of some of the code review items that came up upon the issuance of the building permit, but we're not changing anything drastically with respect to the floor plans and elevations. It was really just a change to the site plan to include this small portion of the piece within the overall plan development district. So I'll stop there, and if there's any other questions or comments, I can provide any answers that you might need.
Okay, thanks. Questions from commission members for the applicant or for staff?
I have a question. In the transportation planner's staff comments, it says that the submittal addresses many of the previous comments from this office. However, the plans still require the following adjustments. And then 1, 2, 3 items are listed. And I'd just like to know if you've made a move to address those.
I did review them. I don't have them right off the bat to go through them. If I can try and pull them up quickly, or maybe if the staff
I can just let you know. The first one says all parking areas are to incorporate screening from the right of way using plant materials. Buffer areas should incorporate varied perennial plant schedule and trees, both in the buffer and the snow storage space. And then there's a particular comment about the Texas variety that you've selected. The second one says the emergency access curb cut opening on Richmond, if pursued, has to incorporate mountable curbing across the opening and must be shown on the plans. And the last one says street trees will be required along both frontages, and that you consult with the city arborist for final approval for this species.
Yeah, so we do have the landscaping shown in the right of way, but none of those comments I would object to. We can definitely work with Steve Harris to adjust the plant species if we need to, and make sure that he's satisfied with any of the city right of way work that we're doing under the road cut permits. And the emergency access gate is what he's talking about in the rear, which was off of Richmond, having mountable curb across it, because this is not a fully accessible driveway. It's gated and for emergency access only for fire trucks to have a different way in and out of the site. So there are no objections to any of those comments from the transportation planner or the city arborist.
Thank you.
Brian, one of the other comments that we had was from the engineering mapping department, and he noted that right-of-way markers were not shown on the plans. Can those be added?
Yes, that's usually a comment that we get. That it's really a catch-all comment unless this one was written more specifically. But if there is right-of-way monumentation, the protection of that monumentation is something that's always a given within the construction world, so that we're not moving property corners and other monuments that are out there for the city right-of-way. We have set iron rods at many of the property corners already, but I can get with Ray Wills in the engineering department to make sure that I understand which monument that he was referring to, and if we need to add one, that would be no issue as well. I just don't know which road frontage he was specifically talking about. But it looks like on my map, almost all of the property corners have been set by way of this survey already, but I can definitely check in with Ray and make sure that he has what he needs as well.
Okay, please do. It did seem to have additional emphasis behind it beyond what we normally see in these comments. I think it also spoke about the canal.
Yes, it's like there's like a red line monument right here that I can see, so it's probably just protecting those, because this is where there's a red line, and then the blue line of the old Erie Canal used to come through this site where it says former Erie Canal land, so it's a little bit different than other.
Yeah, I think it was the blue one he was mentioning specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I have no problem contacting him though. I'll get a hold of him tomorrow and make sure that he has what he needs.
Okay. Other questions from commission members for the applicant? No? Okay.
No, thank you. No.
All right, then we will ask if any members of the public who are on the call would like to speak either in favor of or in opposition to any of these four projects, the three public hearings, as well as the new business item.
Okay, the only person that just joined is Joshua Wilcox. Do you would like to speak in favor or against this proposal? Any of these proposals? No, thank you. He put in the chat. All right, and then another person on the call is a student for observation. So that is all that we have.
Okay. Well, this was I think much more expeditious way to do this, to roll these all into one, because it is all related. So thanks for doing that so comprehensively. We will close the three public hearings, and we can work our way through them one by one to see if there are motions for action on them. So we'll start first with the re-subdivision application, which is R2104. 3 properties into 3 new lots. Is there a motion on this?
I move approval with a negative declaration.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion concerning the re-subdivision? If not, all in favor, please say aye one at a time. Aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? And the re-subdivision application is approved. And we move now to Z2837, the proposed change of zoning from the industrial class A to a PDD. And this would be in the form of a recommendation to the Common Council for final action by the Common Council. So is there a motion on the proposed change of zoning?
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
With a,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think because it goes to the council with a negative declaration. Sorry.
thank you.
And
Rebecca, you seconded?
I seconded it, yes.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Any discussion on the motion for proposed change of zone? If not, all those in favor, one by one, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? So this too is approved, and we'll move to the Common Council for final action there. And next, finishing out our public hearings tonight is Z-2825M2, the proposed modification to the district plan. Is there a motion on this?
Move approval with a negative declaration.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Discussion on the modification to the PDD. Hearing none. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? I thought I counted 5 ayes, but I like to go through the process to be official. So the modification is also approved. And so let us move to our new business item that's related to the 3 actions we just took. And this is the modification project plan review, Z-2826M2. And again, as Heather indicated at the outset, this, if the commission were to approve this, it would need to be contingent upon final action on our earlier action, namely the Common Council approving the zone change. So is there a motion on this modification of the site plan?
Move approval with a negative declaration.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Discussion on this motion.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify, were you thinking of conditioning on this on DPW comments from
Thank
Neil
you.
Burke?
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm conforming to the recommendations from the transportation planner. Thank you, Heather.
Yep.
Thanks for the clarification. That's an important one. Further discussion or clarification? And all in, we didn't vote on this yet. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? So the modification of the site plan has received conditional approval. That completes action on those 4 steps relevant to your project. Brian, thank you very much. You're welcome to stay with us.
Thank you very much to the commission members and Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
We'll see you on a future
I
project.
won't stay for the other ones though. Have a good night.
Thank you. So we've completed the public hearing schedule and one of our new business items. Let's go back to our agenda order, and we've got one item under minor modifications, Heather.
Yes, this is Z-2820. I'm sorry, where am I? All right, SP 9534M5. This is a special permit modification to indoor amusement and recreation. This is to modify the facade of Tully's on Erie Boulevard at 3943 Erie Boulevard East. 3943 Erie Boulevard East LLC is the owner and applicant, and it's an industrial class A zoning district. And that really is it. They'd like to remove the existing entrance awning and construct a new one. And it doesn't include any other alterations on the site or in the interior, which does not necessitate any new or expanded waivers. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for staff on what this application entails?
No, no questions.
No.
I'm all set.
No, thank you.
All set.
Great. Is there a motion then for approval of the modification to the facade?
Motion to approve the declaration.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion before us? If not, those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That special permit modification is approved. That takes us to our new business, and we took care of the first item that was related to the Erie Boulevard project just a few moments ago. But we do have 2 3-mile limit cases in 2 different towns. Starting with the town of Onondaga case. Heather, would you introduce that?
Yes, this is 3S2102. This is the 3-mile limit subdivision review in the town of Onondaga for Old Town Estates subdivision. This is to divide one tax parcel into 69 new lots. Cleveland Road at Yenny Road is the area and location, and it's Kelly Tobin Development Corporation is the owner and applicant.
Okay, and as we had talked earlier in the year, or was it last year? I lose track of time. This 3-mile limit case has undergone review, correct?
Yes, it has.
Okay. Then is there a motion for 3S21-02 in the town of Onondaga?
So moved with a negative declaration.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this motion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? The town of Onondaga 3-mile limit case is approved. We have one more 3-mile limit case in the town of Geddes. Heather.
3S2103 is the next new business item. This is a 3-mile limit subdivision review in the town of Geddes. Pompo Crabapple subdivision is the name of it, and it's to combine 2 properties into 1 new lot. 100 Crabapple Lane and tax parcel 470518 is the area and location, and James M. and Mary Alice Pompo are the owners and applicants.
Okay, thank you. And as just confirming that this too has been reviewed by department.
Well, I'm going to turn this over to Jeff because I don't see comments from engineering on this one, but we wouldn't have put it on there if they didn't. So Jeff, can you just confirm that?
I am looking right now.
Unless I'm missing a page.
You're not missing a page. I need to go in and check IPS real quick. I don't know why I don't have it printed out.
While he's doing that, Catherine, could you maybe give us an update on the change, if any, with the governor's executive order for public meetings?
The executive order has been extended again through March 16th.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that the 1 year mark? This?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I
That
think,
was when we closed, our office closed that week.
Our last planning commission in person in the council chambers was March 16th.
wow, a
Because
whole
I had
year.
to vacate the next day.
That was the first time we tried WebEx too.
Oh, yes, that was fun. Now I'm a pro.
Yes, I've got review comments from engineering.
What do they say? Is it good? Or bad?
Yes. They want to see a SWIP. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's for the previous one. They have no comments for PS 2103.
Okay, so we're good with that in terms of the departmental review. So this is available to us to act upon. Is there a motion to approve the town of Geddes 3 mile limit case tonight? 3S 2103.
So moved. The negative declaration.
Thank you.
A second?
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? So 3S 2103 in the town of Geddes is also approved. Heather and Jeff, are there other items for us to consider tonight?
I just want to go back. Jeff, you made a comment. It's making me a little bit nervous. You said the previous one, their engineering would like a SWIP. Jeff? I just don't see that in the printout of notes here. And that'd be my concern if engineering is not, engineering is the main review that we need in order to have this move forward. So I wouldn't want to miss anything if engineering said they needed a SWIP and then the result was that you couldn't approve this. So if you are there, Jeff.
I'm sorry, they did receive a copy of the preliminary drainage report dated January 2020.
It is creating 69 new lots for 69 new single-family homes, and that would be my hesitation if we did not have a extreme, definite approval from engineering. I wouldn't want this board to be caught in a situation where they've done something that engineering is not.
In that case, I would recommend holding another motion on the grounds that the packet you received did not seem to indicate that issue. So I think it's acceptable to make an amended motion to either have a conditional approval on engineering being satisfied or place this on hold until we have more information.
Well, I would say if they have concerns about drainage, it would be hard to have a seeker sign off. So I think I made the motion for this, but I can't remember.
Walter did.
Oh, okay.
So we recommend that we reconsider the motion or withdraw it?
I would begin by making a motion to reconsider it and then moving forward from there.
All right, since I made the original motion, I'll move based on the information that we reviewed now on the engineering reports and the other parts of our record tonight. I'll make a motion to reconsider our approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, so our conversation is back now to reconsideration of 3S 2102, the 3-mile limit case in the town of Onondaga, based on the lack of clarity in terms of the Department of Engineering's position on this application. So from this point, we can hold it, as Catherine indicated, or we could move forward with another approval, but one conditioned on congruity with the engineering department's concern about a SWIP.
I think we should hold it open because, again, since this SWIP deals with grading and drainage, if they can't satisfy the engineering department and we've signed off saying there's no environmental impact in that regard, then our seeker review would be flawed. So I suggest we hold it open until they finished up with engineering.
Sounds good. May I take that as a motion, Chris?
Okay, sure.
Second.
Thank you, George. Further discussion on this motion to hold 3S 2102. Then all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, so Heather, Jeff, you'll communicate with engineering and we'll get some clarity on what specific concern, if any, they may have regarding this case. And with luck, we'll have that information by the next meeting and we'll be in a position to act on the proposal at that point. Okay. And you indicated there's no additional business for us tonight other than authorizing the public hearings for our next meeting. It looks like we have 2 of those.
Yes, and the second one, the special permit for Park Street, is you had looked at that. They do need a variance for the residential parking requirement. So if the BZA approves or grants that waiver for parking on March 11th, then we will have this on your schedule, but we didn't want to hold them up for another 3 weeks.
Okay.
We're trying to coordinate it so that everything moves forward smoothly.
That makes sense. Okay, then is there a motion to authorize those 2 listed hearings for March 15th?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, well, those are authorized. And we will meet again on the Ides of March. And with that, if there's a motion to adjourn, we will be finished for this evening.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, we are adjourned until March 15th. Thank you all for joining us. Be safe, and we'll see you on web.